Joined now on the broadcast by Terry Duff, the voice of the Memorial Marauders, who are going to be hosting their Green and Gold tournament coming up. Before we talk about that, though, wanted to look at the team in general. Terry, what does the Memorial Marauders team look like this year?
We pretty well have a whole new lineup this year. We graduated 15 players from last season. We had a really strong lineup last year, same as Glace Bay, who was a shame they never got a chance to host the Division I provincials because they had a contending team also, and we felt we did. But 15 players have moved on, and it just opens up room for all the new kids to slide in and see what they have. So we have 3 returning players, so it's going to be a challenge to get them all on board, but it's a process, but we're working on it.
You mentioned Glace Bay not getting to host provincials because of the work to rule derailed the high school season partway through last year. Aside from Academy, which we'll talk about in a minute, do you get the sense that the league is back to normal, or the players in the right mindset? Is the league just functioning as it usually is, or is there maybe a bit of apprehension after what happened last season?
No, I think we just had the one league game so far. We played Glace Bay, and seeing both teams are glad to get back at it. I noticed the difference with the kids when they put the school jersey on. They seem to play with a little more enthusiasm, and no disrespect to the Midget X League that they played in last year, but same lineup basically, but it wasn't the same. They enjoy playing for their school and representing their school. And so far, the game we played was pretty enthusiastic, and I know Glace Bay played Riverview last Monday, and they had a close game, and a big crowd showed up, so they were enthusiastic. It seems like it's back and to what it was for the enthusiasm, player-wise anyway, and also fans. It's a real shame that the Academy had to take a leave.
What challenges do you think that presents being in a 3-team league? Obviously, maybe a bit monotonous for the players in terms of the teams you're playing.
Yeah, you're playing close. So like anytime there's back-to-back games, especially at the teenage years, players can get a little feisty at times, and you like to have a little space between games so things kind of get forgotten about. So you don't want to keep playing the same 2 teams all the time because things can happen. But between tournaments and exams and whatever through school, there's some breaks in between there, so I don't see it being a problem. I think the kids will respect the play of the other players. And there's 2 new coaches with the other 2 teams, and they've been involved with hockey before, so I think they'll have a pretty good handle on their players, so I can't see it being a problem.
You mentioned before we started recording that it was your 4th year coaching. Has adding grade 9 to high school had any influence at all? Do they play into the league? Do you see them active in the high school league at all?
I guess technically they can. I don't recall talking to anybody that has taken a grade 9. I don't believe Riverview or Glace Bay have any. We don't have any. We just came back from the CPL and tournament in Bedford, the Cheetah Classic, and talking to a few of the coaches in the Metro League in Halifax, and they have grade 10s, but that's a tall order for a grade 9 to crack the high school lineup. That would give it like a 4-year gap. That's demanding for the physical part of it. Not speaking for all the other teams, but I haven't heard of any that have a grade 9 in their lineup.
Yeah, that makes sense. Certainly would be a physical challenge for those guys to have to go up against guys in grade 12. Of course, wanted to talk about the tournament. Tell us about the history of the event and when does it all start?
It's named in memory of May Kibyuk, who was an avid Northside minor hockey high school supporter, all hockey on the Northside. She had her favorite spot at the old arena we had, and I think at our new America Center she would probably have her own spot picked out again if she was still watching, which she's still watching from above. But anyway, it's named in her honor, rightfully so. It starts on Thursday, November the 2nd. We start off with Riverview and Glace Bay. That should be a good contest. They had a good game, their first game they played in the league, I know. They're on at 6 o'clock on that Thursday. And then at 7:45, the Marauders, the host team, we take on Garden City Fighting Gophers from Winnipeg, Manitoba. The team from Winnipeg up again this year. A different school, but another team from the Winnipeg High School League. So we're looking forward to that. The kids are excited to see what they bring and how we can compete with them. And then it goes all day Friday, right through to the evening again on November the 3rd. Saturday, same thing. The crossovers are Saturday evening, and then the final on Sunday, November the 5th at 1 o'clock.
What other teams are partaking in the tournament?
We have the divisions. There's the host team, Memorial Marauders, with Garden City from Winnipeg, the Dalbury Dragons from Fort Hood, Prince Andrew Panthers from the Metro League in Halifax, Dartmouth area. That's the gold division. The green division has the Riverview Redmond, Glace Bay Panthers, Citadel Phoenix, and JL Italy Judges. Both those teams are from the Metro League in Halifax also. So it's nice to get the representation from Halifax area. And I know from the Cheetah Challenge, ourselves and Glace Bay just attended. We're all pretty well together there with those teams, so it's going to be some good competition.
Yeah, and exciting to see a team come in from Winnipeg as well. I wanted to touch again on the academy situation because all these teams have their own tournaments, and generally the format goes, you have your 4 local teams and then you invite 4, but now you're tasked with inviting an 8th team to the tournament. You have another team that has to come in from away. Has that provided any challenges? Was it easy to get that 5th team from away to round out the field?
It took a little bit. I know our manager and assistant manager were sending around to the different schools, and there's other tournaments on there same weekend. So I believe they had a school that could have taken the spot, but this Garden City school, they applied back over the summer so they could do their fundraising to come up this way. So we accepted that school right away. Fortunately, we were able to get the 8 teams. This year it hasn't been a challenge, but hopefully next year, love to see Academy back in the league and just for the league play. Plus the tournaments, there's a tournament that the kids don't get to attend this year because obviously they won't be hosting one. It's a shame that they had to take the leave, but hopefully in the future they're able to rejoin the league.
We wish the best for the teams that are still playing, and as you said, they're playing their hearts out with their school on their chest, so hopefully it goes well for all involved. Thanks for telling us all about it, Terry, and best of luck to your team in the tournament and the whole season.
Well, we appreciate your support and helping to promote the tournament. I know the kids appreciate it, and I'd like to say thank you.
We're glad to hear it and help out. That's Terry Duff, head coach of the Memorial Marauders, joining us in the broadcast. You're listening to Cape Breton Screen Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.